What's up, creature designers? Welcome to another creature design tutorial video. This time I wanted to present a 5-point checklist to enable you to critique your own work. Whenever we're drawing images on the computer, it's hard to separate yourself from what you're doing at the time. So this is an image I was working on during the week, and at first glance it looks reasonably okay. To my mind, there's a few things that stand out. I've broken them down into the following topics: general observations, composition, lighting, colour, and creativity. So these 5 topics should give you a direction to start addressing your work. So this is the before shot, and I've created an after layer where I've attempted to address some of these points. So the first one was general observations. What is the first impression you get when looking at your image? Can you tell what it is? Does it make you feel anything? Is it readable? Have you seen it before? Is it original? These questions and their answers are personal to the artist creating the work. So in my concept design here, I wanted a type of lizard creature with multiple arms in some kind of underground environment. So at first glance, it looks okay. Next step is to make sure that your composition is working. So there's a technique called the rule of thirds. This is where you split your canvas vertically and horizontally into 3, and wherever the intersection of the lines are is a good point to put a focus or a point of interest. And if you can get them sitting in the opposite corners, you'll get a readable image. So here we can see the head is sitting on the top right quarter, and the foot or the tail is down to the bottom right. So visually it should appeal that there's some kind of flow in the image. Next up is the gesture line. Is there a flow through your image? So we've got a main body action line here that flows from the tip of the nose down to the tip of the tail, giving us a nice S-curve. We've got some arms and some legs that have a bunched appearance. Next up, try to establish foreground, middle ground and background. In this image, the foreground is the creature and the fire bottom right. Now, it would probably read easier if the creature was interacting with the foreground fire in some way. The middle ground is kind of indistinct in this image, but it's the area behind your main point of interest, but before you get to your vague background details. And the background is whatever's in the background. So next up, light direction. So at first glance the creature appears to be lit from the back towards the top. Now during this critique it would make sense that if the fire is in the scene, it would also act as a light source, illuminating the front half of the creature with more of a red glow. And the blue light at the top is not really acting complementary to the red. So there's definitely something to be worked on there. So what I wanted to do was increase this little fire area down here to act more like a light source. I then decided to tweak the contrast of the overall image so that the separations are more defined. Once I separated the creature from the background, I applied a little bit of contrast. This allowed the light on the creature to separate from the darkness of the background. I also applied a darker colour just to tone down the bright lights that were on the creature. I wanted the fire to be the main light source in this image now, instead of what I originally had, which was the top-down light source. Next, I apply adjustment layer just to really emphasize those reds and to tweak the greens that are on the creature's skin on its underbelly. Next up, I wanted to see which areas or which aspects of the image I liked. Is my creativity there in this image? So I've circled some areas that I did like. I liked that the dark tail stood out from the light background. I liked the form, or the muscle groups, on the forearm to the elbow. I wasn't quite sure about this shoulder area, and I wasn't quite sure that the eye had enough impact. So these are definitely things that you need to look out for in your own work, and when you create your next image, be conscious that those are the things that either did or didn't work in the previous image. So after these minor tweaks, I came up with this as the final solution. So as you can see, the original, now that we jump between the before and after, the original is quite desaturated, very much towards the greys, and the final image is very much towards the reds and the purples. I've also tweaked the colours on the underbelly to be slightly more yellowy brown towards the green, and the face red around the mouth area. So I hope you guys find this useful. It's an exercise that the more you do, the better your work will be. So I hope you found this quick video tutorial useful. I hope that you apply some of these principles to your work in the future. If you liked this video, please rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll be back soon. Cheers.